We're a little over halfway through our zazen kai on this sitting. I know everybody's surely deepening in their practice. The mind is settling down after the first 2 blocks in our work practice. So usually how these days go is that the physical body might be getting tired, but the samadhi energy is growing. So there's this kind of really nice shift from a more muscular, exertive kind of energy that we come in with at the beginning of the day. And it kind of expands and grounds the energy in our body, that we feel more kind of connected and more settled with the energy. So that'll keep happening and throw ourselves in for the rest of the afternoon. It was a nice work practice period today, I thought. We had a nice diversity of jobs, getting the grounds ready for the spring. Susan has offered some flowers as a gift to the Sangha for doing the retreat here today. So there's some white dahlias out back. There's some colored dahlias. She said she doesn't know what color. And then there's some zinnia seeds out back. So as we wrap up, we'll have some more direction on how you can take those home and care for them if you'd like to. Yeah, this May retreat always features the ditch digging, which is about the muckiest job on the grounds here. Myoshin always leads the crew. I think you've probably led the crew for the last 5 years, maybe? Yeah, I think it's like that. So I'm appreciative to those who really throw themselves in. I mean, we had several strenuous, jobs with rocks and hauling today too. But that's good because we're exhausting some aspects of our body-mind in order to open up channels for another type of energy to come in, right? The physical exhaustion, tiredness that we experience by doing that work, it tends to kind of remove the fuel from a lot of the autopilot patterns that we have, right? So those lose their energy, and then the energy of the moment, the more immediate kind of energy, becomes more available. You could say that it's just our patterns lose their energy along with our muscles. And that's a good thing. And our mental patterns do too. You might notice how certain types of energy stimulate certain types of thoughts, and really can fuel mental activity, conceptual activity, thinking activity, analytical activity. Caffeine tends to do this, doesn't it? And when the energy is going there, it's being deployed kind of in a certain way. But when it isn't being deployed there, then this very deep energy of samadhi starts to arise. That's our theme for today's sitting period, and I want to share a little bit more about samadhi. Samadhi is translated in a lot of ways. It's a really loaded term in not only the Buddhist tradition, but the Hindu tradition. It does go way back to India, and even pre-Buddhist. And it means, 8 or 10 different things, just in my little research, looking up what some of the authoritative sources say. The best authoritative sources say, yeah, it means a lot. So you just have to be precise about how you're using it. So the way I like to, refer to it here is samadhi is the energy of concentration. And when you're in samadhi, then you are in that absorptive state. Okay, we could say it is a state condition, right? There's other definitions of samadhi which don't attach it necessarily to a state condition, the body mind, but more of the kind of the nature of reality. So it is that too. But I'm going to refer to it as a state condition within the body-mind. So a relative state. Yeah. I'd like to share just a couple of short things that Maezumi Roshi says about Samadhi. First, you sit and develop your Samadhi. In Samadhi, the limited self-centered consciousness disappears. Then you recognize that you and the universe are one. It just happens automatically. In Samadhi, the limited self-centered consciousness disappears. So in this absorption, what we're cultivating something, and then something is also disappearing. Something is arising and something is going. So what's going is the self-centered consciousness. This self-centered consciousness is so pervasive in our experience of ourselves, our experience of the world. Everything just gets automatically related to me. Oh, I see that. Oh, I like that. It's it appears preconscious. It's sort of baked into our experience itself. I have a preference. Well, of course, it's I who have the preference. So all the senses that come in, all the thoughts that appear, just seem to have that self at the center of them. That's self-centered consciousness. And there's nothing wrong about self-centered consciousness. It's a distorted view of reality. And when we act continually and continuously out of self-centered consciousness, we're really not in alignment with the deeper unified reality. And when we're not in alignment, that's when things start to go. Difficulties arise, and miscommunications arise, and conflicts arise. One definition of the word dukkha, which we translate suffering or we translate insufficiency, is out of joint. Being out of joint. And the self-centered consciousness is sort of inherently out of joint with the deeper mind awareness that pervades all things, including ourselves. In Samadhi, limited self-centered consciousness disappears. It's limited. It's missing something. So really sit and become zazen yourself, but it is not you doing zazen, but zazen doing zazen. That's what Samadhi is. It's not you doing zazen. It's zazen doing zazen. So, in Samu, it's not you picking up the rock. It's the rock picking up the rock. It's the universe picking up the rock. It's not you cleaning out the muck. It's the muck being cleaned. Yeah, do you even have to add yourself to it? And we touch in our zazen. It's so lovely to have those moments because we have them. I'm sure everyone here has them, and those of us who've been practicing for a long time, it's more of a continuous quality of the experience. This isn't me doing this. It's being done. All I'm doing is kind of creating the conditions for this experience to happen. Katsuki Sakita, and Zen Training Methods in Philosophy. It's a really wonderful book from quite a few decades ago. Talking of samadhi, says, you find yourself full of peace and serenity, equipped with strong mental power and dignity. You are intellectually alert and clear, emotionally pure and sensitive. Them are strong words. It's quite a attractive description of samadhi here. And I don't want to get overboard with it, but I do want to also respect the importance of samadhi here. That such a master can say this, this inherent dignity, the bliss that arises, the power, the alertness, the clarity, these are all qualities of it. That might sound grandiose, and it might even sound unfamiliar, but this is what's available with samadhi. Okay, so we can't get attached to samadhi. I want to walk it back a little bit here. Okay. We don't want to get attached to it in terms of its power and its clarity and its pleasurable feeling. And we also don't want to get attached to it and think like that's enlightenment. Okay, which a lot of people do, have powerful experiences like this and they think that's enlightenment. But not in the way that I'm talking about it as a state experience of your body mind. There's not enlightenment. Okay, that's not awakening. It's an energy and a quality of absorption that allows you to shift your self-centered awareness and abide in awakened place. But a really continuously awakened consciousness, samadhi's high, samadhi's not high. It's okay. It doesn't matter. The self-centeredness is no longer there. So it's like, okay. So I just want to say that, it's not, I don't want to make it equivalent, to the real fruit of awakened consciousness that we're practicing here. The full fruit. But in cultivating this, it's a really great aid, in our zazen. Zen, certain traditions of Zen are very intentional and meticulous about cultivating samadhi consciousness. Cats have samadhi. Look at the way a cat, when they have their eyes on a prey, right? My cat outside on the back deck, it's rabbit season now. It's the spring, rabbits are all over the place. She brought in her first rabbit of the season about 3 days ago. Blood all over the carpet. That moment there when the prey's in her eyes, nothing can move her from that. I could be standing right over her face screaming at her. Not that I would do that. But really, those of us who have cats can see that's interesting. Hakuin actually even says the energetic quality of the breakthrough when you pass a koan is like a cat right about and then springing for its prey. He actually uses that metaphor. So it's that heightened awareness, concentrated. Body, mind, right? It's not just the mind, and it's not just the body. It's the whole thing, the whole nervous system, the whole field is heightened with this energy. The qualities of samadhi, I mentioned a few here at the end, the alertness, the clarity. I love dignity too, because when we're not serving our, personal, selfish, self-centered, right? Self-centered preferences, when we're not serving that, there's a dignity in that. Okay, I'm standing, I'm sitting in my seat. I'm showing up in my body, in this moment, in my life. And that's my aspiration, to do that, not to continually work to get my preferences my way. Which a lot of times is where a lot of our energy goes, right? What do I want next? What do I want here? Yeah. But when it's not oriented towards that, but it's oriented more towards what's needed here. What's needed here in this room, with this person, with this body, in this moment. That's a dignified, integrous character to maintain. That's a samadhi. Can really animate that in you. Yeah, because when we don't have that energy, we kind of fall into those old patterns of body and mind more easily. We just fall into them more easily. But as we cultivate the samadhi energy, then there's the clarity to move forward and through it. And those things appear to be kind of whispers and shadows and, that crazy idea I had. So everybody here, I'm sure, is experiencing more samadhi in this relative sense now than we did when we started the day. Yeah. And you'll experience more by the end of the day. So that's very real. So there's these qualities I've been talking about. There's also a calmness. There's a resting in, as if you're being held by a field. These vocalizations and visualizations that I shared a few, and I'll share a few more, help to cultivate samadhi. We did some Un chanting this morning, just by an expression. How many enjoyed that and experienced energetic something, an energetic something good, right? Yeah. So we're moving the consciousness, away from all that pinballing thought stream, right? And then from whatever kind of fixation might grab your attention. And then you're moving it to this really intentional energetic flow, and to visualize that the vibration expanding through your whole body field, right? It isn't just a sound emanating from your mouth, right? But it's a vibration that every cell in your body is vibrating with. It's just opening the channel to the samadhi, which is actually all around us all the time. It's inside of our cells, these incredible powerhouses of energy, all the cells in our body. And then it's all through, the universe as well. We call it chi. There's different words for it. There's prana, and there's chi or ki. Right? Maybe it's the chi is more physical, in the Chinese tradition. The prana pervading everywhere. So these vibrations just kind of put us into harmony, with these, and open up these channels for this energy to move through. In samadhi, we start to lose these boundaries. The fixed boundaries of our body, and then the fixed boundary of our self. Right? We're usually okay with the fixed boundary of our body. This is my body. It's mine. Maybe. And we're usually pretty okay with the fixed boundary of ourself too. I'm me and you're not. These are my preferences. But of course, we're afflicted by the psychological boundary, that we're imposing, the separation that we're imposing with self-centered consciousness. So one quality of samadhi is to dissolve the boundary that we've somewhat quasi-artificially created between ourselves and other beings. Maybe in that vibrational field, you can feel, we're all together in this field, we're all resonating at the same frequency here. We're actually doing that even when we're not all chanting together, but it's very, very subtle. But chanting together helps us to kind of bring that to consciousness more and tune our own sensitivity so that we can feel it. And then the dissolution of the egoic boundary. So wonderful. Scary can be to that self-centered consciousness wants to hold on to its prime VIP seat at the center. Okay? And the center of attention starts to move elsewhere and outward and larger. It's like, what about me? Wow. If you have the aspiration and the courage and the draw, because it does feel really good as well, the draw to allow yourself to just expand and be in that open place. Then you start to develop insight, right? Because as you experience that, and then it goes back, right? It goes back. None of these states persist, right? None of them are absolutely true or fixedly the nature of reality. The nature of reality is the nature of your reality. And you experience that boundarylessness and expansion and unity field. And then, before you know it, there you are again at the center of your consciousness. Okay. Now here's me having my experiences again. Okay, that's all right. No problem. But now there's maybe hold on. It's not, this isn't fixed. This isn't fixed. More and more, you see that, more and more that you feel it, the more shifts you have into that non-ordinary, non-self-centered consciousness, and that becomes more, more familiar to you. So cultivating the samadhi can really move us, expand our consciousness, quite quickly, quite dramatically. The zazen does it. These energetic practices do it. Okay. And really, you can find yourself in very shifted consciousnesses. Just be very unified in what you're doing, very quickly. And then you just practice, and then it's just maintaining, your awareness of your own experience. So Zenkai is it's just a petri dish. Is that the right word? That's not the right word. It's kind of a nuclear power plant where we're all just these, energy centers, body, mind, incredible. And just with our own personal dignified practice, we're just taking care of your own personal stuff, your own body and your personal stuff, but we're all doing it together. And we all resonate with each other. So like I said at the beginning, whatever the quality of your practice is, you're contributing to the practice of the group. And the stronger we all practice, the stronger the group field gets. And then there's a feedback to that. And we all feel it, and that helps our practice and really build. But no pressure, No pressure. We lose it. That whole period, I got distracted. It's okay. We just keep over and over, just keep bringing it. And then all together we deepen. All together we really grow, grow in love and truth. Okay, well, enjoy the afternoon practice.